And the ironic timing to me is that we're just a couple days after the Super Bowl. My dad was not one for Super Bowl parties at all. He liked watching games by himself, like my brother mentioned. He would really zone in and be completely focused on the games, particularly the ones we were coaching the whole week leading up. He would just get more and more intense and nerve-wracking for my dad. So I'd often call him on Thursday nights prior to the game. One, to call him down, and two, to hear the two things that he told me for 25 years that I think you can apply to life. And he always just said, make sure you get those kids to play hard and just do your best. And, you know, I'll certainly miss hearing that. Sitting next to my dad to a game was not fun. Put it bluntly, God bless my mother, putting up with him. Anyone else that ever took a turn, I think he truly felt he could will a team to win from his bleacher seat, as he would rock back and forth and mutter many things under his breath about what should be happening out on the field. This past Saturday, Tim and Colleen took my kids over to their place so Heather and I could watch my dad, and they mentioned that the kids were watching The Secret Life of Pets, which if you've not seen is a cute little cartoon based on animals that can talk to each other once the owners leave. And as I was sitting there, I was thinking there ought to be a movie made called The Secret Life of Jim Lawler's Cows. As those poor animals during sports season had it rough. For those of you who don't know, you're supposed to like milk them at the same time. And my dad, he might milk them at 4:30, it might be 12 o'clock, right at noon he'd milk them again because we had a game to get to, and that's just the way it was. And it wasn't the most ideal farming deal, but it didn't matter to him whatsoever. So, finally, just to speak on this here, my mom and dad, in my opinion, and then so many of you said this as we came through, I think had one of the most special marriages I've ever witnessed. And I know I'm biased, but when I think of the two of them, I always think of them as one. They made a commitment to be together, and for the most part, they did everything together. And the way in which my dad cared for my mom when she got sick, I think was truly a thing of beauty. Never did we hear him complain, never did we hear him talk about how it had shattered his life, and never once did he speak badly about the hand he was dealt. He simply cared for her the best he could up until the very last moment. We've had some very powerful moments in these last days, and at night, in those last days, my dad would often see things, and one of the things he told me he saw was my mom. And at times when he was sleeping, he would reach out to her and asking her to grab his hand. And it was amazing to me, even as his mind began to fade, how my mom still had such a bright image in his. And when he passed, he was looking at a picture of her up on the wall that hung just above his bed. About a month ago, my family was up for a weekend, and my dad, he had a brief window where his mind was really clear. It was good for about an hour. And like my brother Joe, I asked him what he would like to have said. And he didn't have a lot of strength, but there was a few things that he wanted said. And first, he wanted to, of course, say how proud he was of all the kids and who we had become. And the one thing, and it was touched on earlier, he was very proud on how we had served humanity in some way, shape, or form. Laura with her work overseas, three of us being teachers and trying to help young people. And my brother Joe, well, in so many ways, I see my dad in you. With the way that you take time day to day to help people, give them a little extra hand, or simply pull up a chair and talk. He wanted to say thank you to all the daughters-in-laws who had become daughters to him over the years. He mentioned Sarah for taking the time to make that family calendar each year to keep track of all the family events, Jen for running all the errands and weeding around the house, Heather for the laughter you brought when the two of you could tease each other about your favorite teams, and Colleen simply for everything. Everything you did for him. We can never thank you enough. He was wearing down quick that day, but he also wanted to pass on to the grandkids a quick little message. message. As he talked about each one, Terry was so proud of the young and mature adult you become. And Monica, of all the success you had in school and how you never bragged about it. Oh, and he loved the man you had become. And he wanted you to secretly know that he loved to watch how much food you would consume in family gatherings. Josh loved hearing about it, your new hunting exploits these past few winters. And Ryan and Brad, the gift you gave him, being able to come and watch your ball games so often, and hearing you talk about the food you were learning how to make. And Logan Graham had a very special spot for you in his heart, and wanted to know how much he appreciated how you cared for him when he was at our house during the summer when he had gotten sick. And to the two girls, Gwen and Olivia, he wanted to know how much he was enjoying watching you grow up, and he really hopes someday that you two would be able to play ball against each other. And my dad had one last wish for everyone here today. My dad was a very, very happy man, very content. And one of the things he often said to all of us was to not hold on to anger. And he lived his life by this. And I think it brought him great peace to forgive and to move on. And know that you don't ever forget maybe what's happened, but you can't really change it for the better. And if you don't choose to forgive the other person or party or whatever it is that happened and start over, that anger will eat you up inside. And so he wanted me to ask everybody at this moment to maybe think of somebody in their heart or something in your heart, no matter how big or how small it was, and to let it go. And to do that in his memory. And as he laid in that bed for almost 5 months, prisoner to his own body that was failing, he stared at that same spot in the ceiling day after day. And he truly came to know how special each and every day is on this planet, and that the man upstairs gives us. And his dream and his hope is that maybe this day we could all find a way to make things just a little bit better for one another. And maybe that little bit better can become a lot of bit better, and we can make this world a little bit better place. And when I think of my dad, that's what I think he did, is he made life for people around him a little bit better. Dad, I'm going to miss you. More than I can put in words. Our talks, our chats, your advice, your laughter, and your guidance and your friendship. Not a lot of people get to call their dad a best friend. Our family did. And I know you're truly happy again with Mom holding her hand, your hand over hers, and we will be with you in time. God bless you for everything you did in everybody's life in this church and beyond. You were truly a great gift to all of us. You made this world a better place. Say hi to Mom, and we'll be with you in a while. Love you, Dad.